Good job on the budget report, Ellen.
Thank you, Mr. Buchanan.
You're welcome.
Hey, and welcome back.
Thank you.
You know, I never used to believe in miracles, but when we heard that you were alive,
Well, there were a lot of things that I never believed in before that I believe in now, too. And it's good to be back. Unfortunately, I'm going to be spending most of my time helping my brother run Buchanan Enterprises until Asa gets back on his feet. So while I'm doing that, Vicky's going to be taking over here at the paper. I'd like you to do everything you can to make things easier for her. You savvy?
of course I will.
Good.
I'll get this report copied and duplicated right away.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Buchanan.
Hi. Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Clint, got your message. Sounded important, huh?
It is. It is. Grab a chair.
Thank you.
You know, I heard something yesterday, Bo, that's got me completely stymied. Seems that you and Tina were out the other night.
So?
So? What are you doing gallivanting around town with a little heifer that you never really liked or cared for?
I don't care what they say, Wade. I think you're an excellent driver.
Marilyn, where do you want me to put this? Just sit right there.
Make yourself comfortable.
No, it's really good. You know, Tina, I hope all this talk about weddings isn't upsetting you. I know you had one planned for this month.
Well, you know, I was upset at first, but, you know, breaking up with Cord has shown me that there's a whole new world of possibilities out there that I never even dreamed of.
I told you, Rob, I don't want to hear about it. You talk to Rudy if you got a problem with your schedule, all right?
Okay.
Sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
Max, how you doing? Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, sure thing. What's up?
It's about your brother, Steve. You know, I told you that my specialty was working with coma patients.
Mm-hmm.
And I would really like to work with Steve, if that's okay with you. I talked to Dr. Wolick about it, and he thought it was a really good idea, but I do have to have approval of the family, and in this case, that's you and Gabrielle. What do you think?
Well, I think that's great. Any help you want to give him is fine with me. I appreciate the offer. Listen, I'm sure Gabrielle's going to feel the same way, but you better check with her just to make sure.
Well, I was just getting ready to go over to the hospital right now, so I'll talk to...
No, she's not there. She's home. Here, let me give you her address.
Oh, thanks. Oh, Max. What happened to us?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Sullivan. Oh, I'm sorry. The front door was open, so I let myself in. Here's what to do when... I'm sorry if I startled you.
It's all right. I just didn't expect you.
I should have called first, but I was wondering if you had a chance to look at the list. The one that had all the names of the people who were on Steve's floor the night he was attacked.
Yes, I have it right here.
Did anything hit your eye, spark your memory?
Sorry, no. I looked at it most of the night. I couldn't come up with anything.
That's too bad. Well, it was worth a shot. It's a nice house. Cozy.
Yes, it's home.
How long have you and Steve lived here?
Oh, we moved in a few months before we got married.
Oh, yeah, was this Steve's place before you moved in?
No, it was mine. I bought it when I decided to make Lambview my home.
Oh, yeah? I like what you've done with it. Has a nice, warm, cozy feeling. No wonder Steve was willing to sell the ranch and settle in here.
Selling the ranch was a mutual decision, Detective.
Oh, of course, I know. You know, most good marriages are based on mutual decisions. It was a good marriage, wasn't it?
Yes, very good. It still is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. By the way, the night of the attack, did anyone come into your room after you went to bed?
No.
Did you happen to wake up in the middle of the night?
No.
So you didn't see or hear anything?
Why are you asking me all these questions? I told you everything I know back in Arizona.
I know. But I was hoping that the distance would help you remember something you might have forgotten.
Well, it didn't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot of work to catch up on.
Oh, right. Designs by Delilah. I remember. You work out of your home.
I don't remember mentioning that.
Oh, didn't you? Rafe must have told me. What's that?
It's my son. The babysitter's left, so I must go to him.
Oh, I didn't know that you and Steve had a son. I'd love to see him, may I?
Yes. Yes, all right, I'll go and get him.
Clint, it's no big mystery. You know, Tina had, she was down on her luck, so I took her out to dinner. It's not a crime.
No, of course it's not a crime. Tina's been down on her luck before, and I've never known you to exactly lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, but this time she got a real rotten deal from court. It was when you were gone. So you know me all my life. I've always rooted for the underdog.
Really? Then it seems to me that you would have been in there pitching for Cord. From what I hear, he's the one who got the short end of the stick. Tina manipulated that whole deal there at the museum with his exhibit. Embarrassed the hell out of him, especially when it hit the front page of the Intruder.
Well, it sounds to me like you've been listening only to Cord's side of the story.
You want some coffee?
No thanks.
Okay, Bo, you tell me. What's Tina's side of the story?
Well, she says she never asked for any favors from that curator in return for the donation. She swears that Cord's work was accepted on its own merit. Now, I believe her. Also, I wanted to help Tina out for Vicky's sake. Clint, it would have been one more thing that she had to go through at that time. Now, this was a time that she still thought you were dead. I knew that Cord could probably look out for himself, so I went where I thought I was needed the most. And if you think about it, it's the same thing you would have done yourself to take some pressure off Vicky.
Yes, I reckon I would, yeah.
Well, I thought so, but, you know, hey, I mean, taking Tina out to dinner, if that's going to be a hassle for everybody, I can back off.
No skin off my nose. But you threw me with this change of attitude toward her. But now that you explained that you did it for Vicky's sake, I can see how you were thinking, and frankly, I owe you some thanks.
Well, you're welcome. And I have to admit, though, that, you know, that little Tina, she is a handful.
Mr. Buchanan, Herb
Yeah.
Callison just called. He wants to drop by and go over those changes in your will.
Fine, fine. Would you call him back and tell him I'll wait right here?
Sure thing.
Vicky and I are going to have our wills redrawn. You know, after that little situation happened with me, Vicky and I got to thinking, and we thought it might be a good idea.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Could you hang in here while I wait for Herb? I'd kind of like you to fill me in on what's happening at Buchanan Enterprises.
Sure. I had some things I had to do, but they can wait. I think this is more important.
If anyone's hungry, you'll be pleased to hear Renee's making some sandwiches.
Oh, good.
How about you, Tina?
Oh, thanks, but I've already made some plans.
Oh, you're going to the house to help Vicky?
Oh, no, I'm sure I just get in the way there. Besides, the caterers and party planners are all very well organized. But if you don't mind, could I just hang out here for a little bit?
It's lovely to have you here, honey. Stay as long as you like.
Thanks. Will you stop worrying about fluffing the vows? I think the rehearsal went very well.
I know, I just can't wait to do it for real tomorrow.
Yeah, me either.
Hey, you know what we could do? We could practice the words a little bit before we go to bed, please?
Wait, don't get me wrong, but I think I should stay here tonight. You know, tradition and all that.
Oh. I'm gonna miss you, but all right. Tradition and all, okay. I understand.
Thanks, and I'll miss you too.
Oh, sneaking in a little extra rehearsal.
You bet.
Wait, darling, could I ask you to be the bartender and see what everyone might be wanting?
Sure.
Oh, that is one terrific guy, Mary Lynn.
Yeah, I know. Keeping an eye on him, huh?
That seems to be all I can do these days.
I'm sorry you couldn't make the party at Stars. Renee said something terrible happened.
Yeah, it was just a mix-up. Anyway, things are better now. In fact, I really couldn't be happier.
Last will and testament. Well, the time has finally come, my friend.
Daddy?
Darling.
I got your message when I went back to my room. When did you arrive in London?
A short time ago. I came directly from the airport.
You haven't come to try to talk me into returning to London, have you?
Quite to the contrary. I have come to make sure we both get exactly what we want.
Bye.
Oh, I'm late.
A little final net and you have all the hold you need.
What do you mean that you want us both to get what we want?
Your happiness is my happiness. You know that. If you want to reconcile with Robert and proceed with the wedding as scheduled, then that's what I want too.
That's very sweet of you, Daddy, but I'm afraid at this point it all seems rather hopeless.
You're not giving up, are you?
Well, what else can I do? Being ordered out of Robert's room as he held Cassie in his arms was a demeaning experience, and I've no wish to go through it again.
It must have been awful for you, but you must have patience. I assure you, you and Robert will be reunited, and you can put this nightmare behind you.
The real nightmare is what happened to Cassie outside the hotel. I know she's my rival for Robert's affections, but I certainly don't wish her any harm.
I know it was a terrible accident. She might well have been killed.
Daddy, you truly didn't have anything to do with that, did you?
Really, Joanna? I'm shocked. Do you actually believe I would be involved with such hoodlum tactics? I said I would do whatever I could to help. I draw the line at putting a person's life in danger.
I know, I'm sorry I even suggested it, but... Well, after Robert told me to give you that message about leaving Cassie alone,
I'm sure he was understandably upset. In fact, I spoke to him from London about it. He regrets now having upset you by implying that I had anything to do with the accident.
Oh. Oh, I'm so relieved.
No.
So now what? Have you taken a room at the Holden Towers?
No, but I'm sure there's something suitable available.
Well, I'll see to all the arrangements, and then we can have dinner together, huh?
I'm afraid I have some business to attend to first.
Business? Here in Landview?
Well, don't look so surprised. I have interests all over the world, even here in Landview. I'll check in with you when I return. Bye, darling.
Hey, buddy, nothing worse than sitting alone at a table for two.
Hey, Max, how you doing? Well, actually, I'm waiting for Sarah.
Ah.
How's Steve?
No change. He just keeps lying. There's nothing I can do to help.
Listen, I can guess how difficult this is being on you. And I want you to know, I think it's great how supportive you've been to Gabrielle in light of everything that was happening before all this started, how Steve was trying to adopt baby Elle.
Yeah, well, I don't blame him. He's just trying to keep his marriage together.
Well, again, I think you've been great about the whole thing. I think Steve is very lucky to have a brother like you, Max.
Yeah, real lucky.
He sure is a healthy-looking boy. You and Steve must be very proud.
We are.
Oh, how old is he now?
A little bit over a year.
That's a cute age. Watch out for the terrible twos.
Actually, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah? Where was he born?
Detective, I would love to stand around and chat with you all day, but since I've been back from Arizona, I have spent so much time at the hospital, I haven't had time to spend with my son. And as you can see, thank you, everything starts happening. Come on. Who is it? Who is it?
Oh, Gabrielle, do you remember me, Brenda McGillis?
Yes, of course I do, from the hospital yesterday. Yeah. Please come in. Oh, this is Al.
Hi, Al. How you doing?
Hello there.
This is Detective Johnson. This is Brenda McGillis.
Pleasure.
Yeah, pleased to meet you.
Good. Listen, I won't take too much of your time, Gabrielle. I just wanted to ask you if it might be okay if I started doing some work with your husband.
With him?
Well, I've developed a form of therapy that sometimes helps. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. And I'd sure like to try with Steve. Oh.
If there is a chance in a million that you can do anything to help Steve, I'm all for it. Particularly if you bring him back into consciousness.
Well, I just want you to understand, though, that there is no guarantee for this.
I do understand.
Okay, well, great. I should start right away then, but I'm going to need a little bit of help from you. I mean, could you tell me some things about Steve? Maybe, you know, a hobby, things he likes, things he doesn't like?
I would love to help you, but as I explained to the detective, I've been so frazzled since I got back.
Listen, I understand. That's okay.
But this weekend I have time.
That'd be good, but I was hoping to get started right away. Does Steve like to read?
Yes, he does.
Because if I could get some of his favorite books, I could go in and start reading to him and establish a relationship with him right away.
What a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, then, if you'll excuse us, we'll go and find those books.
Oh, sure. Well, look, I'll look after the boy if you want to go and look for the book.
No, really, I couldn't ask that.
No, I don't mind, really. I like it.
All right. Well, I'll put him in the playpen.
Hey. Oh, you doing?
What's the matter? If you're sure you don't mind.
Oh, come on. Don't you want to stay with me? Look at this. That's right. He'll be fine. I'll take it. Hey, handsome. Come here. What? Whose little boy are you, fella?
Exactly. That. Excuse me, folks. Wait. I see for a second, please. Wait, I noticed you didn't have a ring at the wedding rehearsal tonight.
Oh, yes, sir. I didn't have it, but I don't want to do one of those Frankie Lanson things again, so I waited until I got paid today, and I'll get it tomorrow.
I see. Well, Wade, I was wondering if you would you'd consider giving this ring to Mary Lynn. You see, it's the one I was going to give to her mother before.
Oh, sir, that's very kind. Are you sure that you want to do this?
I would appreciate it, Wade. I really would. It means a lot to me.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Hi, we're back.
Oh, it's about time.
Hey, let me carry this for you.
Oh, thanks.
Want to go, sir?
She has been absolutely glowing all day. I am so glad you gave those two your blessing.
So am I.
So Asa won't be able to come to the wedding?
No, I doubt it. He's in the hospital. Something to do with the effects of that drug still being in his system?
That's absolutely unbelievable. I'm the one who was supposedly slipping something in Ace's tea. And I haven't been anywhere near him in weeks. That Danneride would be well out of his system by now. You know, this just confirms my suspicions about Bo. I'm going to talk to Cassie about this.
Oh, why? Why tell Cassie?
Oh, well, when you were hesitant about going up against the Buchanans, I hired Cassie.
Well, Renee, the only reason I was hesitant is I don't think you have a case.
I know, and that's why I asked for Cassie's help, to get the proof that I need. I've been unjustly accused of something that I did not do. And not only that, Ace's life is still at stake.
Remember, the Buchanan family is very powerful. You be very, very careful, right?
Excuse me, Mr. Callison just called again. He's not going to be able to make it after all. However, he said he could stop by the house later.
No, that's okay. Call him back and tell him it'll keep.
Yes, sir.
Bo, I'm sorry. I hope your hanging around here hasn't fouled up your plans for this evening.
Nah, it's no problem.
Good. Well, I better button things up here and close up shop. I only stopped in, you know, to make things easier for Vicky. She's going to be taking over here for a while so I can concentrate on Buchanan Enterprises.
You know, that's going to be great. I've been looking forward to working shoulder to shoulder with my big brother because, Clint, this is the way Paul always wanted it.
Yeah. Well, I think I better warn you that Asa found out about Elizabeth taking over Sanders Chemical again. Tina let it slip.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You know, she walked in when Elizabeth and me were having a meeting there at the office, and I forgot to tell her to just keep it to herself. Is Asa mad?
Anyway, when I got him turned down the volume, I explained to him that we really had no choice. Sanders Chemical has been nothing but trouble since Asa took it over. Now, I got him to admit, begrudgingly, of course, that Elizabeth is the only one who can bring this division up out of the cellar.
Maybe. But you know how I feel about that. I don't trust Elizabeth. I know if she followed me into a revolving door, she would come out ahead of me. And I know she'd do anything she can to get even with Pa for that hostile takeover, even if it means taking Sanders Chemical right into the, bankruptcy.
No. I don't agree with that. Her family built the company. She doesn't want to see anything happen to it.
Really? Then
Really?
why did she let it get in a place where Asa could just walk in and just grab it?
He outsmarted her. Plain and simple, Bo, he flat outfoxed her. Now, she never diversified. She never backed up the assets with other money-making ventures. Now, to me, that just shows that Elizabeth is really tied to Sanders Chemical. She loves it. It's her whole life. I don't think she wants anything to happen to the one thing left in the world that she can feel like she's a part of.
Well, I hope so. I do. But if this deal goes sour, don't forget, I warned you.
Fine. Fine. If I'm wrong, I give you permission to say, I told you so, Clint.
Well, don't worry, because I will.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a minute. I gotta get out to the house and help Vicky. Now, you are gonna come over tomorrow, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't miss that for the world.
Great.
Thank you.
Excuse me, madam. You have a visitor?
Oh, not visitor. I'm not expecting anyone.
Perhaps I should have phoned first.
Lord Henry Layton. My dear. What a lovely surprise. Come in and sit down. That will be all, Malcolm. And would you close the door, please? All right. What's wrong? I know you wouldn't risk coming to Landview unless there was a problem.
This arrived in my London home yesterday. I thought you should see it immediately. It's a notice from Crown's lawyers. Alex's will has gone through probate. It's scheduled to be read in July.
July?
Yes. That gives us 1 month exactly to successfully carry out our plan to take over the Buchanan Empire.
Henry, no one wants to see our plan succeed more than I do. But I don't understand what Alex Crown's will has to do with anything.
It proves the link between me and Alex, thereby giving Robert the ammunition he needs to connect me with the mob.
But how?
Perhaps I should start at the beginning. Our little plan to take over the Buchanan Empire has been very costly indeed. Not only do such matters require time and patience, but also money. Since we set our little operation in motion, I have had to drain the working capital from a number of my businesses to help finance our dealings.
I know, so have I. Unfortunately, it was the weakened condition of Sanders Chemical that allowed Asa Buchanan to initiate his hostile takeover.
I know. I found myself having to stave off several attempts on my companies. Well, to save them, I needed to lay my hands on some very ready cash. That's where Alex comes into the picture.
Alex lent you money?
Not exactly. I obtained it from him without his knowledge.
How did you manage that?
Alex maintained a very large Swiss bank account, which he entrusted to my management.
Well, I'd say that's quite an extraordinary trust.
Well, having me make the deposits and withdrawals under the guise of one of my many dummy corporations, the connection between Alex and his assets was very neatly obscured.
In other words, you helped Alex launder his money.
I believe that is the American terminology for such an arrangement.
Aha. So, Crown's will is about to be read, and Rob's inheritance is no longer as impressive as it was.
Precisely. And as I said, that gives Robert the proof he needs to make a firm connection between me and his father, and by extension, the mob.
But why would Rob be looking for such a connection?
Ah, now. There, you see, that is the crux, shall we say, of the problem. As the Swiss account dwindled, I knew I was going to have to cement the relationship between the two families to protect my interests. As Alex and I moved in rather dangerous circles, I impressed upon Alex the necessity for having his son marry my daughter. That way I could offer Robert protection should anything happen to his father.
I see. A marriage of convenience born of necessity.
Precisely. By becoming a member of the Leighton family, well, this would place Robert under my complete control and allow me to steal the time to complete our plan and replace the money I withdrew from the Swiss account.
And then Cassie Callison came back into the picture.
You heard about that?
Well, Lambview isn't that big a town. One hears things.
Well, you heard correctly. When Robert returned to America a few months ago to meet his father, the engagement to Joanna had already been announced, and the wedding planned for the end of this month. Now that he and Cassie have rekindled the flame, I find myself in a most untenable position.
But Henry, why can't you try reasoning with him? Surely you must have very impressive powers of persuasion.
Believe me, I've tried. But I must tread very carefully with Robert. Joanna is not aware of my agreement with Alex. For obvious reasons, I don't wish her to know.
I gather it was Rob who broke off the engagement.
Yes. When I tried to point out to him the error of his ways and to impress upon him the fact that I could not protect him unless he married Joanna, he simply threatened to expose me to the authorities.
Well, I gather you covered your tracks.
Of course. But that brings us back to his father's will. When Robert finds out that he has inherited an almost empty bank account, he's bound to start digging. It won't be long before he discovers the truth. And the truth has the name of Lord Henry Leighton printed indelibly upon it. I don't need to tell you, if I go down, we're all ruined.
Well, my dear, it seems to me there's only one solution. I'll lend you the money to replenish the Swiss account. And Robert will have no cause to go looking for skeletons in our closets.
Unfortunately, dear Elizabeth, not even you are rich enough to fill the coffers. I have spent countless millions on our little project.
Yes. But Henry, we shall make billions.
Only if we succeed, Elizabeth. Only if we succeed.
Did you see that teeth coming?
Oh, Gabrielle, this is great. This is going to keep me plenty busy with Steve for a while. Good.
I'm going to have to be going, too. Can I give you a lift back to the hospital?
Oh, no, thank you. I have Vicky's car. Well, it was nice to have met you, and I wish you the best with your investigation, sir.
Yeah, good luck with your therapy.
Thank you. I'll see you out. Okay. And I'll let you know how everything works out, okay?
Thank you so much,
You
Beth.
bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You sure do have a nice-looking boy. You know what I can't get over? Is how much he looks like Max more than he does like his father.
That's because Max is his father.
Oh. Well, I guess that explains it then. I'll keep in touch. Bye. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome, Detective. Good to see you again.
See you, Al.
Bye. Max. Yes, it's Gabrielle. No, Al's fine, and it's not me. I need you. Something's happened. I don't give a damn about our arrangement. I need you, and I need you now.
Even with the most absorbent diapers,
Cord Roberts? Yes, sir. Hey, Detective Johnson, right? How you doing? I heard you were in town.
Oh, pretty good.
Please, pull up a chair.
Oh, thank you.
Max tells me you're here to investigate who was trying to kill Steve, huh?
Yeah, well, I think I exhausted all my possibilities in Arizona, so I thought I'd try my hand here in Landview for a few days.
Well, I don't need to tell you how tough this whole thing has been on Gabrielle and Max. Well, especially Max, because Steve's just about the only family he's got left.
You know, I find it amazing that Max and Steve are so close. Usually two brothers that are involved with the same woman. Turns out to be a sticky situation.
Well, they've had their share of problems.
I can imagine with Max being the father of the baby.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I was just talking to Max about this a little bit earlier. I said that it was great that he was rallying himself together to comfort Gabrielle during all this because, well, some things were not so good between them when all this thing happened.
Oh? Like what?
Well, it's common knowledge that, well, before Steve was attacked, Steve was trying to sue for custody of the baby. Okay, what's wrong, huh? Why all the hysteria on the phone?
Detective Johnson was here. He wanted to go over the list, but I know he was trying to find out something else.
Like what?
I don't know, but he was sniffing around like a bloodhound. He wanted to see Al, and then he asked if you were Al's father. I had to tell him the truth.
So? It's no big secret.
Look, I know he's jumping to the wrong conclusions. You saw the list of suspects yourself. We're both on it. Yeah. Maybe he knows about us. Maybe he thinks there's a reason we should be on it.
Oh! Calm down. Would you listen to yourself for just 1 minute? Look what the guilt is doing to you. It's clouding your reasoning. You're starting to see ghosts.
No, I'm not. He's very real. He's thinking awful things about us.
Gabrielle, we got carried away. We got out of hand. I was drunk. You were feeling alone. It was a terrible mistake.
No, how can you say that? It was beautiful.
It was wrong. And now you're falling off the edge. You're starting to project this fear of being discovered onto Johnson.
He mustn't find out. We have to find a way to stop him from finding out.
Why? Why? What's the big deal if Johnson discovers? What's the big deal to Johnson or his investigation?
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sure that our night together really has nothing to do with today. I'm just...
I gotta get back to the hotel.
No, please don't.
I have to.
Please, Max. Just stay a little while. If not for my sake, then for Al's. You know, he's been so cranky today, and I bet I know why. You haven't even come to see him since we got back from Arizona.
Okay, I'll stay. But just 1 minute.
Thank you.
Henry, I have an idea. You and I are going to have to work closely to salvage this situation. Why don't you and Joanna come here and stay with me until you come up with a way out of this mess?
Wouldn't it seem odd, us being here as your house guests?
Not at all. We can easily explain our long-standing friendship.
You know, I'm tempted to take you up on your offer. It would give us a chance to keep in touch and hasten our plan. But we must be very careful what we say in front of Joanna. She knows nothing of my other life or of my dealings with Robert. She's shattered as it is over his calling off the engagement. She would be totally devastated were she to discover the methods I am employing to get them back together again.
It'll be our secret.
Well, that's settled. Joanna's staying at Holden Towers. She was going to arrange a room there for me. I'll go and collect her instead and bring her here. This evening is convenient for you.
Oh, my dear, of course. I'll have Malcolm prepare the guest wing for you. I'm sure you'll be quite comfortable there.
Oh, wait. Before you summon him, tell me about our man here in Landview. How is he working out?
Marvelously. I'm sure you'll like him when you meet him.
Is he keeping a low profile?
Oh, yes. That is, as far as his involvement in our plan is concerned.
Has he run into any problems?
Well, we've had some tense moments, things of that sort, in the last few months, but All in all, I'm very proud of the work he's doing. And Al, you know something. I think you will be delighted, too, when you find out the tremendous progress he's made.
I hope you're not upset about the last-minute change in plans. I didn't feel like going out and being surrounded by a lot of people tonight.
Oh, I don't mind. I mean, as long as you're not too mad at me about letting it slip to Asa about Elizabeth being in charge of her company again.
No, that's all my fault anyway. I forgot to tell you not to mention it to anyone, so how could I stay mad at you? In this whole crazy world that I'm finding myself in right now, you are my only harbor of safety.
Hello there.
Hi, did you take Renee back to Holden Towers?
Yes, honey, I did. Say, don't you think you people ought to get a little sleep? Otherwise, you might doze off during the ceremony tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, Dad's right. It is going to be a very long day.
All right, I better get going.
Well, I think I'll go upstairs and read a little before I go to sleep.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
You know, I'm gonna miss you tonight.
Well, I don't know why.
Come on, you know I love sleeping with you.
Yeah, well, it must be frustrating since that's all we do.
Mary Lynn, would you please stop with that? I told you it's gonna be completely different once we're married. We are gonna have the most fulfilling, perfect marriage you could ever imagine. Right?
Right.
Good
night.
Good night. Good night.
Night. What is it, Bo? You seem so far away.
I'm sorry. It's business, you know, it's just too boring to even go into.
Can I be honest with you?
Sure.
I'm very glad I didn't run off to Laguna Beach, because that's exactly what I would have been doing, you know, running away from all my problems.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to just get away.
Yeah, but sometimes it's good to stay put where you are, too, and realize that you can be happy wherever you are.
Oh. Are you happy?
Extremely. You know, I love spending time with you. And you have made me feel very wanted and very special.
Tina, you are very special. But you know what? I think I better get you home now. Because tomorrow's going to be a hectic day for everybody, isn't it?
Joanna, my dear, welcome to my home. I want you to know that you and your father can stay as long as you like.
Thank you. That's so very kind of you. Oh, by the way, there's more out in the limo.
Oh? Very well, miss.
Now, your rooms are all ready, and if you'll excuse me, I'll just check on dinner.
I'd no idea you planned to stay on here in Landview.
I told you, darling. I promised to help you get Robert back. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh, Daddy, I know I've always been able to depend on you, but I'm afraid that this time even you won't be able to help. Robert seems determined to be with Cassie.
Have patience, dear. He'll soon come to his senses.
Hey, what's taking you so long?
I'm coming. What's the hurry?
Nothing. I just miss not having you right next to me.
Rob, you cannot have me by your side 24 hours a day.
I can try.
Look, I'm serious. I think you're getting a little carried away here.
Maybe. I just don't want you getting run down by any more cars.
Things like this happen. That's why they're called accidents. I promise from now on I'll cross at the green and not in between.
I get a better idea. Why don't we go away for a few days, just the two of us?
Where?
Someplace romantic.
Wait a minute, what about work? The wedding? I mean, you're the maid of honor. I'm the maid of honor. You're the best man.
Okay, we'll go to the wedding, get in the mood, and then we'll go first thing tomorrow. I'll make all the arrangements. Come on, we owe it to ourselves after everything we've been through together.
I don't know if I have enough time to get ready for that. Okay. You really want to do this?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You talk me into it.
Al's asleep. Thank you for spending time with him.
No problem.
Look, can I get you a drink, a brandy or something?
No booze. No booze. You know what happened last time? We had too much to drink.
Yeah. What about coffee then?
I'm not here to socialize, Gabrielle.
But Max.
Look, we made an agreement. I think we should stick with it. Goodbye.
Max, please don't go. Look, I can't bear you pushing me away like this. I've already apologized for overreacting to Johnson. What more do you want?
When you talk about that night we spent together, don't get that wistful look in your eyes. It wasn't the happy ending to a fairy tale. It was a mistake.
Please don't let that ruin the bond that we have between us. At least can't you see how much I've grown to depend on you in the last few weeks? Do you see how much I need your strength now more than ever?
Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but...
Johnson, hi.
I seem to have lost that list. Have you seen it?
No, I gave it back to you before you left, but you're welcome to come in and look for it.
Oh, thanks. Oh, will you look at this? I must have dropped this on my way out of here. I just have to be more careful. Well, I'll keep in touch.
From Touchstone Pictures, Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin are about to meet Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin. They're two sets of